Again. All right. They got me showing early. Top of the evening, of the time live. I think I'll play it back again. All right. All right. So top of the morning, top of the evening, top of the night again, whatever time's on. Everybody to kick off. A moment of silence those who have lost their life. All right. So you see the title. It's the January 6th hearing kickoff. It's the hearing kickoff for January 6th, the attempted coup, insurrectionists, elected officials who were participating, other forces that were participating, and the like. Now, having said that, let's get to this music, and we are going to get off into these FBI, this FBI warrant that was under seal. But let's get to this music so we can get it started. Hey, Pete.
This ain't living.
All right. Now, again, hello everybody. What happened in the background was this. The website page is actually crashed. So I hit a refresh from, I'm streaming through the cloud. Okay. Let me put it that way. Okay. This is what you call cloud streaming. Okay. And the cloud is a database. Cloud is a database. Engine, a database. I don't want to call it an engine, but it's a database. But anyway, that's the way I am streaming. So my little stuff in the background crashed. So I had to refresh and come back in. Now that I'm back in, hey Lee. Okay, thanks, Letha. So now that I'm back in, we can go to work. Y'all ready to go to work? This is the January 6th kickoff. The attempted coup is read. This the kickoff. Now, what I have is from a retired 4-star general of the United States of America. It was an FBI warrant that was supposed to be under sealed. However, it was revealed for a moment in time, and when it was revealed and unsealed for that moment in time, 2 news sites for real people made sure that they acquired it quickly. And so we have that information today. And so when they got it, I said, I'm going to get it. I said, I'm going to get it. And so what this 4-star general was doing was, it's involving Trump administration. So let's be clear about that. It's involving election interference. So let's be clear about that. Now, January 6th, it was an attempt to overthrow the government and an attempt to overthrow the election process that had taken place. So let's get off into, let me set this up right here and go to this. Let's go to these documents, and I want to make sure I got this set up right. Yeah. Okay. So now that it's up, let me pull this up from, before I show it to you all, I need to pull it up from, I'm going to read it from another device. I have it pulled up in the background. So we can take a look at this warrant that was under seal, that was revealed and unsealed for a moment in time. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Why are my teeth looking so okay? Whatever. All right. Here we go. Let's go to work. Somebody say, let's go to work. Somebody say, let's go to work. All right. Let me get back into this. I didn't mean to close all my pages. Now, come on now. Okay, I got to put it up again on this device. Y'all ready to go to work? Let's go to work. Okay, here it is. And I'm just, loading it again so I can see it, so I can read it. Okay, this is the United States District Court. for the Central District of California. Case number is, oh, I'm just clicking up. Ooh. Zoom back, zoom that back down. Okay, I'm going back to page 1 on my electronic device. So case number 222 MJ150. Okay. In the matter of the search of information stored within the iCloud account associated with DSID, Apple account number 133854722 and or email address rickscaf dxb@yahoo.com, at Apple Incorp, which means incorporated. They just be 1 Apple Parkway, Cupertino, California. Zip is 95014. So this is the FBI again warrant that was sealed, that was unsealed accidentally, and 2 news stations were able to pick this up and they published it. So it's out here. Here it is. And I'm just going to let the record show. And it's pertaining to the retired 4-star general who participated in leading the war in Iraq and some other wars. Afghanistan, Iraq, and you'll probably find him leading some other ones. However, unfortunately, according to the warrant and according to the claim against him, it was some election interference where he willfully was colluding with foreign governments to tamper with the U.S. election process as we know it in this nation. And we know that that is not legal. It is illegal. Okay. It's a criminal offense. All right. So in the check, in the FBI box, the basis for the search warrant under federal crime, P41C. The check is evidence of a crime. So evidence of a crime, Foreign Agents Registration Act, restriction on former officers of executive branch, obstruction of justice, aiding and abetting, and conspiracy. All right. So this is the warrant that they had sealed that was unsealed temporarily. And like I said, got it. So let's move on. Let's go to work, y'all. Let's move on. Oops. All right. Go to the next page. All right. So I wanted to make sure you all were on the next page before I transition to the next page. So here it is. Refresh this. Okay. All right. So here it is. Let's go to work. And I'm going to keep saying let's go to work, y'all, because this is going to pertain digital forensics. Okay. Forensics, ESI, electronically stored information. And this is going to involve digital forensics. And when I say digital forensics tonight, we're talking about whether the data was stored in a database, whether it's was retrieved from a cell phone, which would be cell phone forensic database, network forensics, computer forensics, whatever type of electronic device it was on. And so digital forensics will cover all of it. Okay. So let's get off into this. Now, when you are looking at the screen, I need people to pay close attention to the way this FBI warrant was written up. Okay, pay close attention. And there's some things that I'm going to point out that from a digital / computer forensic / information, electronically stored information standpoint / people need to be aware of, that we need to be aware of. So let's go here. This warrant applies to information associated with the subject account. So while we thinking about this process, let's do a quick recap of some words. Okay. Hash values. All right. Data integrity. A duty to preserve. Keep all these words in mind. Authenticity. Authenticating. Keep these words in mind. Okay, so let me go back to the first sentence and read from there. It applies to information associated with subject account identified as iCloud account, associated with DSID account number 13385472227 and or email address rickscaf@yahoo.com that is within the possession, custody, or control of Apple Incorporated, a company that accepts service of legal processes at 1 Apple Parkway, MS 169-5CLP, Cupertino, California, zip 95014, regardless of where such information is stored, held, or maintained. Stored, held, or maintained. Now, when we talk about electronically stored information in the way that it needs to be acquired, so it can be legally admissible in a court of law, the way that you collect, store, maintain, handle it along the way is all important. The way that you collect, that you're going to retrieve it, the way that you retrieve the data, the way that you store the data, the way that you handle the data on the way to storing the data, it matters in the way that you maintain it. So pay close attention to those words that's being used, especially toward the end, the way it was stored, the way it was held or maintained. Okay. So that sets it up. That's setting it up. It's setting it up. And notice what the warrant is going to the iCloud. Okay. The iCloud. Apple Incorporated. Okay, so Apple, when they receive this warrant, they have to relinquish that information, that electronically stored information. And they're going to have to present their chain of custody of the process along the way. Now, let me pause for a minute because I'm going to bring up the Kenneka Jenkins case again, and then we're going to move on. When the police department in Rosemont, Illinois, the village of Rosemont, issued warrants to Facebook, we saw a detective that was there first who was working on the case. When you go back and you get the documentation. Okay, excuse me, everyone. When you go back and you look at the documentation, he issued the duty to preserve that information to Facebook, like Facebook, Snapchat. I was looking through there. I said, okay, all right, there it is. Letter to hold, send a letter to hold to let the tech companies know, or the communications companies know, we need you to hold that electronically stored information. That means you cannot destroy it. Okay, so we're getting it in for you to hold it. All right, so from there, once you do the hold, then the letter to hold is in. Okay, hold. That means at that point, they have to preserve it. That means they cannot destroy it. They're not supposed to destroy it. They're supposed to preserve it. So I seen the first detective that came in. He did it for Facebook. He did it for Snapchat. He was doing it for the social media sites. And so I said, well, it's interesting that the detective would do the social media sites, and he did not do one for the hotel when it came to the Kenneka Jenkins case. I said, that was very interesting to me. I said, because they have ESI2, electronically stored information dash, that will be used as evidence. And now let me be clear about this by law. When a corporation knows that when it comes to electronically stored information, let me be very clear. By law, when a company or a corporation knows that there is a possibility, the possibility arises that they will be going to court or may go to court because they will be held liable for an incident that occurred on their premises. They are supposed to go ahead and preserve. They are supposed to preserve the electronically stored information. They are supposed to do it. They don't always do it, but my thing is this, why I'm giving this quick example, is that the police department, the detectives, you don't give them the opportunity to do what they want to do, assuming that they are going to preserve it just because it said they had to. No, the same warrants that was issued to the other social media sites should have been issued to Crown Plaza in terms of electronically stored information. All right. So I want to be clear about that. Now, let's get back to work. Let's go back to work. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Let's get to the next. Let's get to the next. Here because they are not managed. Go back. Okay, what I didn't check to see at all of my pages here. And I need to look in the chat and see what's being said. I didn't bring it up on my one screen. Okay. Hey, 3,000. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. What's this letting me? Not the one that I loaded this. Put it back in. Set this back up. Okay. Some crazy stuff going on here. Move this back over. Okay. I don't know what's going on in my background with this slide tonight. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna read through. I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'm gonna read through it. Apologies, everyone. I don't know what's going on. Normally, I check my presentations when I upload them and go through them to make sure I can work through the pages smoothly. However, today I just uploaded it and did not go back and flip through any pages. So what I'm going to do is continue to read. So let's go to work. Okay. Now, attachment B, which you do not see on the screen. I'm just going to read it right from here. Search procedures. The warrant will be presented to personnel of Apple Incorporated, the provider. So all of this is important. Warrant goes to the provider, okay, who will be directed to isolate the information described in section 2 below. So key section 2 below. Right now we're in section 1. We'll progress to section 2. So I need people to hear this because this is pertaining to digital forensics. Now we're talking real forensics here. All right. And we're talking a warrant coming from the FBI, being issued by the FBI. And so again, it goes to the Apple distribution as a service provider, distribution as a they can be considered software as a service provider, platform as a service provider, but it goes directly. This warrant is going to Apple, okay? Because Apple is what? That's the platform where this 4-star general backing his information up to, and those are the services that he was using. It was the Apple, okay? So Apple services. So the warrant is going to go to them, just like if a warrant were to be issued to something happen on YouTube, within the warrant would go to YouTube/Google LLC, okay? Because they have the data, okay? They house the data. So keep in mind, Apple is housing data that's needed, okay? That's important. Who's housing the data? Who's the holder of the data, okay? So to minimize any disruption of service to third parties, the provider's employees and or law enforcement personnel trained in operation of computers will create, and I want to read that again. This is number 2. To minimize any disruption of service to third parties, the provider's employees and or law enforcement personnel trained in the operation of computers will create an exact duplicate of the information described in section 2 below. That's dealing with hash values, authenticity, authenticating an exact duplicate. That's dealing with data integrity, okay? Trained person, trained. 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 Okay. Trained. A person trained to handle and deal with ESI, electronically stored information, in a way and manner that it can be admissible in a court of law. Right? The providers, employees will provide in electronic form, the exact duplicate of the information described in section 2 below to law enforcement personnel specified below in section 5. Well, actually, section 6, excuse me. And that was number 3. Number 4, with respect to contents of wire and electronic communications produced by the provider, here, content, records, see section 2.10.a below. Law enforcement agents and or individuals assisting law enforcement in acting at their direction, the search team will examine such content records pursuant to search procedures specifically designed to identify items to be seized under this warrant. The warrant shall extract. Remember, on here, to give an example, extractions. When it came to the Kanika Jenkins case, remember, I was conducting metadata I was extracting data. Let me put it that way. I was extracting data. So when you hear keyword, listen to the warrant, extract and seize only the specific items to be seized under this warrant. See section 3 below. The search team may use forensic examination and searching tools, such as NCASE and FTK. And FTK stands for Forensic Toolkit. And have I utilized both of those tools? Yes, I have. Number 1. An NCASE Enterprise is a certified digital forensic tool that is acknowledged internationally, globally. It's a globally acknowledged digital forensic tool. It's acknowledged internationally, worldwide. That's what NCASE Enterprise is. And trust me, NCASE Enterprise, to obtain certification to utilize their tools and to say you've been trained effectively to utilize their tools is costly. Everything costs. In this field of digital forensics is costly. Certifications cost money. And something else about this field is, in this field of forensics, you have to recertify every couple of years. It's not like it's not like a nursing certification or a doctor's license or anything like that, or a state certification where you can take your states to be certified for knife. In this field of digital forensics, when you are certified in a lot of these specialty fields, you have to certify every 2 years or every 5 years, depending on what type of certification you have. It could be every 2 years, every 5 years, so on and so forth. So this is not one of those fields where you just come in and you had a certification 2 years ago. Well, when that certification expires, that's it. You go back and recertify if that's what you choose to do. So it is a costly field. Just know that it is costly. And certifications in this field do not last forever. So let's get that out the way. Now let's continue to go to work. Let's go to work. Okay, so. And again, my apologies for not setting up my PowerPoint slide and making sure every slide was available, because this warrant is 77 pages. Okay, so I'm only on page 3 of page 77. And no, I will not be reading all 77 pages. I'm going to skip around. But right now I've gone from page 1 to page 3. So we're only on page 3. All right. But when I re-uploaded and make sure I can move through it smoothly, I am going to just show the pages so people will be able to see. All right, so all right, so I want to start back over at the second to the last sentence where I stopped at when I'm talking about the search team, the tools, the forensic tools that were used. The search team may use forensic examination and searching tools such as NCASE and FTK, which tools may use hashing and other sophisticated techniques. Now, hashing over here, you've heard hashing and hash values quite a bit. So we should have a pretty good understanding of what hashing does. Okay, hashing is going to be going to give you a numeric value to make sure that whatever you are copying is a forensically sound copy and you are not altering, tampering with, editing, deleting such information that you are there to collect, that you're not tampering with the electronically stored information in your collections. All right. So your collection and production process. All right. To be the review of the electronic data may be conducted by any government personnel assisting in the investigation, who may include in addition to law enforcement officers and agents, attorneys for the attorney support staff, and experts. Pursuant to this warrant, the investigation agency may deliver a complete copy of the seized, copied, or disclosed electronic data to the custody and control of attorneys for the government and their support staff for their independent review. The search team will not seize contraband or evidence relating to other crimes outside of the scope of the items to be seized without first obtaining a further warrant to search for and seize such contraband or evidence. So just simply stating, they're going to stay within the scope of the warrant. And if they go outside of the scope of the warrant, then they would have to get another warrant before they are down other avenues. That's why when warrants are being drafted, you want them to be broad enough to include everything that geographically and territorial that you cover. You want the warrant to be broad enough. If something happens in a certain city and it may lead to another city, where then you want your warrant to be broad enough to include geographically the other city and everything within those cities. Okay, that means neighborhoods, whatever, however, whatever. You want warrants that are inclusive enough to get the job done, whatever job it is they need to get done when you are collecting electronically stored information. Now, okay, and then it goes on and on and on. Now, the section I want to get to, okay, so I'm jumping to number 10 now. So I've jumped from number 5 to number 10, because number 10 is section 2. And in the beginning, we kept talking about the warrant keeps alluding to section 2. And I want to get to section 2. So section 2, so listen, let's go to work. Let's go to work. digital forensic. Let's go to work for real. All right. Information to be disclosed by the provider. Okay. And so what I think I'm going to do right here, because I do want people to see this. Give me a moment to re-upload this right here. I need people to see this part right here. I want people to definitely see this one. So let me see something. Let me here really quick. And okay, let me come back here and push this out. And okay, so I'm coming back to the main screen so I can re-upload this PDF of the warrant, because I want you all to be able to see section 2, number 10 on this warrant. Because again, let's go to work. It is cool. All right. Here, take a look at my slides that are loaded. This one, yeah. And let's see really quick. So we go that one. Yeah. It's over. All right. Switch these. Okay. Now. That's not. What did I put this on? Let me scale this really quick. Let me just stretch just this. What's this? What in the world is going on with my slides tonight? The way I set this up, the way I preset this up tonight, just makes absolutely no sense to me now that I'm going back through here. No, I don't like the way that I set that up. Okay. I'll pull it up and I'll do a screen share on it because, like I said, I want you all to see the part. So let me just do it this way. I don't know what I was thinking about when I set that slide up. So let me go here. I'll have to open it back up. And here it is. Make sure. Oh, come on, open it up. Letha, you said you know the day, but you need the month. I mean, you know the month, but you need the day. Oh, okay. It's the 24th, Letha. I'm reading your message that you left, Letha. It's the 24th, Letha Browling. So let me go here. All right. All right. This is nice and big on here. Nice and big. I should be on page number 5. Let me get to page number. I'm on page number. All right. I went too far. I'm on page number. Take me to page 5. Let's just do quick search. All right. So we are right here, point number 10. I'm setting this up to all right. Now into section. All right. Right there is where I'm going. So what I'm making sure before I share this out on the screen that everyone will be able to see it and view. So I'll share on this and make sure this is right. It's not too big for the screen. Man can't see it. Okay. No, I need to decrease that up some more. So I'm gonna decrease that a little bit more because that's still not on the screen. Back down one. Probably need to take it to about 75 to get it in there. 75 normally is around. Let me take it to 67. 67 will be viewable. Everybody will be able to view it that way. So I'll do this again. And let's do this again. So again, like I said, this particular section I'm getting ready to read, I definitely want everyone to be able to view. So I just want to make sure that it is size correct screen. Like when I did my upload, I don't know what in the world. Check it like I normally do to make sure I can transition through my pages smoothly. Okay. Now there we go. Everybody can see it. There we go. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. And if you need to hit refresh on your screen so you can view what you need to view, go ahead and do that. Okay, so Why is it still not here on this little screen? Can everybody see the document now? Because I don't want to start reading until I'm sure everybody can see it. Hey, Sour Patch, how you doing? Can everyone see that? Give me a purple heart in the chat if you can see this screen. Because from my end, you should be able to see it. And remember, I'm producing this show as it's being distributed out. And so from my production window, I look at it from my electronic device. What I want you all to see from this FBI warrant is not showing up in the actual live. So I don't want to okay. I don't know why. I don't know why you guys can't see that. Should not be. Let me stop it and show it again. Stop and do it again. And this time it should be there, but we need to move on because I don't want to belabor on the time here. Now, back here. Here. Transition is here. And I can see it on my end. I don't know why. Oh, Sour Patch, you said these people make you turn evil. Don't turn evil for nobody. Remember, life is choice driven, and we choose how we choose. And this is our side note. We choose. It's a side note and a main note. It doesn't pertain to the warrant, but side note and a main note. For all of our lives, we can choose how we will respond, and we can respond or we can react. And oftentimes, as human, we spend a lot of time in respond because respond is a well thought out. A response is well thought out. And a lot of human, we are human. We have spirits, so people. Oftentimes, when situations arise, instead of processing it and turning it over and over in our mind and chewing the cud, so to speak, on it, we go ahead and we'll do a quick reaction. But when we respond to things, we slow it down. We dial it all the way back. Sour Patch, we take our time. We pull it all back and we process it and we look at it from every angle. Then we flip and we look at it from another angle. Then we flip it and we look at it from another angle. Then we flip it again and we look at it from another angle. And then we respond. But we human, so a lot of times as human beings, we be reactionary. And I am included in that category, reactionary. All right. So sometimes we reactionary instead of respond. So it happens. Um, and people in the land and on the earth today can be full of foolishness and shenanigans. Um, but it's all about, especially for your health, Sour Patch, it is all about the way you respond. And then some things just don't need a response or reaction. Sometimes you just like, okay, whatever, and you keep it moving. I mean, and you're an adult, so I'm sure you know what you want to respond to, but don't let anybody pull you into a point. And again, this is a side note, and we're gonna get back. Don't let anybody pull you into a point where you are responding or reacting in a way that is vital, that vitally impacts your health, or that is detrimental to your health because you've had some medical circumstances that you've had to overcome. So don't let everybody don't let nobody take your health. Now I'm an advocate in that right there, that you don't get to start impacting me in a manner where it starts physically taking my health down. That's when I'll cut. I got to cut the thing off, and it's the end of that. So don't let things when it come to your physical health, because we only get one body on this earth in this lifetime. You have to do what's best for you health wise, because no one resides or lives inside that body that you are in except for you. You know the challenges that you have had to face. You know the challenges that you face on a daily basis. Just you. And so when it comes to people on social media or face to face, when it comes to family, when it comes to people over the internet that you can't see face to face, you just have to count the costs. Slow it down, how you respond. You choose to respond. You act, and sometimes a reaction is necessary. But like I said, it's the reacting that a lot of times that's a little bit rash from my perspective. We need to just kind of respond. And I've been rash in my lifetime. I know I have. My family would attest that when it comes to them, I am reactionary and rash. We rash like so quick rebuttals, like and they like that ain't even so. All right, but back to this FBI search warrant. So off the side note, back to let's go to work. Okay, let's go back to work. Let's go to work. Oh, Sour Patch, so much you can. Yeah. Wow. As human beings, Sour Patch, one thing is for sure. We definitely are interesting people. And that's just the reality of the situation. We are some interesting people. And and you don't want that place where stress or that are stressful, because that's not healthy. So, all right. Now that I'm on my side, little prep talk, let's get back to work. Okay, digital forensics. Yes, Sour Patch, slow it down. If you got to get back off, like you said, if you got to get back off social media or get back off because things are just because you said you've been, missing in action or whatever, then you have to do what's best for your health. And again, that's our side note, because on Monday, a friend of my mother transitioned away, and where her services were Monday. And so when I was there, and she asked me to do a solo. And so, and this is still a side note, but it's about life and health, health. Okay. Life, death, and health. Okay. I'm going to just say it like this. And so I was there on Monday, and she had asked me to do a solo. And I was thinking about it when she asked, and when she first asked me, I was like, oh no. And then she asked again, and I said, okay. I said, okay, I'll do it, because I thought about her being my friend, and I didn't want to see tears streaming down her face from losing her mother. And usually at a friend's parents' home going, I don't do the solo. I want to sit. I want to sit and kind of, because being up there to solo, it becomes oh so real. And that person is not going to be on the side anymore. And whatever you wanted to say, you can no longer say it because they're not here. And it was just a sobering moment. It's been a really sobering moment. And at that moment, some other friends were there. So, we do what we always do, is hugging each other, speaking words of encouragement to each other. But this is the type of core group that I hang around. Okay. So you're doing all this, and it's like uplifting each other. And it's like, in that moment, it's like, man, I choose life. And I'm not going to let anybody bring into my world anything that would be producing death. And so, not just for Sour Patch, but for all of us, we have to cut and run from things that are not productive and not fruitful in our lives, and that can be detrimental to us physically. Stress is a killer. Stress is a silent killer. Stress is a silent killer. So you can't allow things. And yes, Sour Patch, I know we want to defend ourselves. For many of us who are used to doing that. However, there comes a time in life when you come out of certain circumstances and situations, or you've been through certain circumstances and situations, and a battle when it comes to your health, to where you like, hey, you okay, all right, where you start just not acknowledging that person. You don't give a person that much power and control to get you to warrant a response from you. Really. I mean, it's like you don't have that much authority in my life to warrant a response from me. Because I get to choose whether I will or I won't. And you just don't have that much authority and power and control in my life to draw me into a response. So, especially if it's going to be detrimental to my health, and I have to take time and say some stuff to you that'll stir me up, because then Um, some of us don't want to do a bunch of talking like that. We'll take it to a whole nother level. So you just gotta, yep, Letha, let it roll. No, no, Sour Patch. That's okay. Sometimes you just gotta let it. You don't have to be sorry. Something, because I'm gonna say it again. It is about your health. It is about your health. And sometimes you just gotta let them know you're not that important in my life to warrant a response. You're just not. I'm a different type of person because the way I feel about it, in my perspective on it is this: you don't pay no bill where I live at. You don't pay no bills over here. You don't put no food on my table. You don't put no food up in this house. You're not taking care of me. You have not fed me, clothed me. Therefore, because of those things, I just simply refuse to use my platform responding to things, to certain things, because they don't pay the internet here. They're not paying bills where you reside at, and I'm thinking you don't get to play my time like that, and that's just me. Now, but I keep y'all in my prayers. Letha, you right. Some things we do need to let roll off our back like a water, like rolled off our back like water. We do. Some things we do. Okay, now getting back. So let's go to work. Now I did that long side note. But again, I always keep people in my prayers and different things like that, because life is real. This in this world, life is real, and so some things are just don't warrant, or not even, it's not even worth the time, and that's my perspective. Something, it just ain't worth my time, because you don't have that much power, authority, and control to draw me out like that. Period. That's my perspective on a lot of things. Now, um, having said that, that's my perspective on being drawn into certain things. With family, to me, my personal family is different. Up together, we've been around each other for years, so family can draw me into a quick response. But people that I don't know, or that's out here in online or different social media websites, most of the time they can't. And if I do say something, it's because I chose to. I actually sat down, thought about it, and I decided to do it. But no, that. So getting back to this work, and I didn't say it a couple of times, so let me get back to this work. Let's get back to work, y'all. Let's go to work. Okay, back to this warrant. Again, this is pertaining to electronically stored information. Again, when I was doing the share on my side, I couldn't, so that lets me know on your side you weren't able to see it. And so if I pull it back up the way I had it before, I did not load all of the pages to it. So I will go back to page 5, point number 10, and continue to read. Again, this is the FBI warrant. Now circling back around to the topic from my side notes, plural. We're on page 5 and point number 10. Okay. Now, this is a point, digital forensics, that listen to the way the FBI have this warrant drafted. Listen to these key words. Information to be disclosed by the provider. Okay. To the extent that the information described in attachment A is within the possession, custody, or control of the provider, regardless of whether such information is located within or outside of the United States, including any information that has been deleted but is still available to the provider or has been preserved pursuant to a request made under Section 18 U.S.C. S2703F. The provider is required to disclose the following information to the government for each subject account listed in attachment A. I'm going to reread sections in here that are important. See, because oftentimes, now when it comes to electronically stored information, service providers will tell you, once you delete this, it's permanently deleted, and you won't be able to retrieve it or get it back again. And because I come from this field, I always say, no, you can't get it back again, but they can. So let me reread this warrant again. Let me reread the section of this warrant again. All right. Let me reread this again. Okay. I have a disaster recovery plan, a backup plan, a data disaster and recovery plan. That means screenshots are taken along the way. Okay. For big tech companies or people who house data, you have to have a recovery plan. And how are you going to get people back online if it restored to a specific point in time if you don't know what was there? So screenshots are taken when you're dealing with electronically stored information and distribution platforms and tech companies and communication companies. Screenshots are taken, and then snapshots are taken. Let me not say screenshots. Let me say snapshots are usually taken. This is the way most companies do it, or some companies do it. Big tech companies do it. Snapshots are taken along the way of your information, and then it gets archived. So snapshots along the way are taken. Along the way, it's taken of the data, and then it goes archive. So when you hear people say, "Oh, when they say it was deleted," okay, until a warrant is issued, and then you'll see the production of that data you thought was deleted. Okay. Now, let me say it again. Oh, thank you, Flower. Let me say it again. Let me reread that. Regardless of whether such information is located within or outside of the United States, including information that has been deleted and information but is still available to the provider. They said you permanently deleted. Now, I had this conversation years back. I was explaining some stuff as it related to Kanika Jenkins, J for K, including things that they said are deleted that you can't view it, but the provider still has it because they have to have it by law. They have to have it by law. They have to have it to the guidelines and the policies that's set up. So there it is. I just wanted to read that portion in this FBI warrant. So let's go to work. Let's go back to work. Let's go to work, y'all. Let's go to work. See, because oftentimes you get people who, now there are some people on here who are in this field and they speak real forensic language. And there are others will post the title and think they're doing forensics or digital forensics, and they're not, because they've not been trained, they've not learned, and they just mess around with the twos, and that's okay, but you have to be really careful. Again, this is a very specific field, and it's very specific processes that you go through. Okay, so, and as people, I definitely believe that we need to know what we need to know, because you should have to go to court. That's why I like to keep it informative over here. I like to give information, inform. If you have to go to court and your attorney have no knowledge or have basic to minimum knowledge when it pertains to electronically stored information, you need to clue them in. You clue them in. You need to be able to come to this channel, go back to the old videos, and just pull it. Authentication, data integrity, forensically signed copies, hash values, write blocking, duty to preserve, letter to hold. And your attorney should know the attorneys know about letters to hold. But most attorneys don't understand digital forensics, because that's not what they went to. That's not their specialty. Okay. And so, as a lay person, you need to be able to tell them, should you have to go to court, it is going to involve some electronically stored information. Should you have to go to court, need to be able to walk them through. Walk them through this process. So I wanted people to hear that, including information that has been deleted but is still available to the provider. The FBI warrant included that, because we know when it comes to digital forensics, it's deleted, but it's still available to the provider. It's archived. That's why I tell people, if I'm on, well, I don't want to say tell people like I didn't told somebody something. That's why I always say, whatever I post on social media, I stand behind. If I am commenting or responding to something or something, I stand behind it, because I know they can always pull it back. Even if they say it's permanently deleted. No, it's archived in your warehouse somewhere, and it can come back up. So I tell people, when you come out here in this arena, you better be able to stand behind whatever you write, because one day you have to go to court, and then they start pulling back up all the stuff you done said. And they told you, and these sites came out here and was like, oh, it's permanently deleted. We deleted it. You ain't gonna be able to view it forever. No, that's not the way this right here works. For the common person, they can believe that. Before, in our field, we know better. So let's go to work, y'all. All right, let's go to work. All right. So, and again, I'm on page 5, number 10 of this FBI search. It's 77 page to the search warrant that was sealed. It was a sealed search warrant, and it was temporarily unsealed and put out there. And shout out to the 2 news stations and news companies that got it before they sealed it back up. Now, that's it. No, okay. So now I want you to listen to this. The provider, and right now the provider here, one of the providers in this warrant is iCloud, but you have to go through, they're going to go through multiple databases involving different networks, involving different peripheral devices, involving different nodes. Okay, so it's It has to include all of that. Now let's go back to work. Let's go to work. The provider is required to disclose the following information to the government for each in attachment A. All contents of all wire, all means every, nothing left out, nothing's missing in all of it. All wire and electronic communications associated with the subject account that occurred between October 1st, 2016, and the date of this warrant, including all emails. So that's one, the emails, the communications, or the messages of any kind associated with the subject account, including, here we go again, stored or preserved copies of messages sent to and from the account. Okay. Deleted messages. That means we can retrieve them. You can pull them back. Okay. And messages maintained in the trash or any other folders or tags or labels, as well as the header information. So with each email message or any related documents or attachments. And we know when data is traveling across the network, the first thing that's attached to it is a header. Then it's the body, then it's the footer. When packets of data are being transmitted across the network, it has a header, it has a footer. It has a header, it has a body, it has a footer. Now, are they specifically talking about that type of header here? No, they're just talking about different headers in the email. But I guarantee you, because it is electronically stored information that has traveled across the network, it's an all-inclusive type when it comes to this electronic information. It's all-inclusive. It's going to be all-inclusive. But for the people that missed it, this is the part I want to read back. Including stored or preserved copies of messages sent to and from the account. Deleted messages. Pause for a minute. Deleted messages. Yeah. Okay. So I'll move on from there. Let's go to work. Let's go to work, y'all. Okay. All records, other information stored by subscriber and subscribers of the subject account, including address books, contacts and buddy lists, calendar, data, pictures, videos, notes, text, links, user profile, account settings, access logs. Now, you getting into those access logs, you definitely talking digital forensics right there. Now you're talking straight forensics. All of it is access logs. You're going a little bit deeper now. And files, okay? Are records pertaining to communications between the provider and any person regarding the subject account. And when I sit back up, you would notice they have in all caps and subject accounts in all caps in this warrant. All right. Including contacts with subject services and records of actions taken. Now you're going a little bit further. You're hitting other people's databases, networks, cloud services, and things like that. Okay. All stored files in each record stored on the iCloud for the subject account, including all device backups. Uh-oh. Now, this 4-star retired general, that's where, when it comes to electronic evidence, you seal your fate. because everything leaves a digital fingerprint. And in this FBI warrant, and I would expect nothing less from them when you start talking about electronically stored information that needs to be admissible in a court of law that you're going to use as evidence, including all device backups. Everybody out here that's doing big data or housing data have to have a disaster and recovery and backup plan. That's where all that data gonna come from that you thought you deleted and that you thought they did away with. It's gonna come in those backups. They add backup data. That's why I say this. Now, this is the kickoff to later on this evening or later on in the day, because it's already the next day my time. Everything leaves a digital fingerprint. You can think you are deleting things if you want to. A digital forensic, those digital fingerprints that you leave on those electronics will reveal a thing to you. Yeah, they'll reveal a thing to you. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Rest assured that it'll reveal a thing to you. And so, when it's time to when his trial and his hearing come, or when they bring him up, I'm definitely going to be locked into that information. I'm gonna be locked in. Oh. Yeah. Mhm. All right. So, let's go to work. All store files and records on the iCloud, including device backups, all Apple third-party app data, such as third-party provider emails and WhatsApp application, chats backed up via iCloud, all files, and others related to the iCloud mail, iCloud photo sharing, my photo stream, cloud photo library, iCloud Drive, iWork, including pages, numbers, and keynote, iCloud tabs, and iCloud keychains, and all address books, contact and buddies list, notes, reminders, calendars, entries, images, videos, voicemails, device settings, and bookmarks, other records and information, including subscriber information, including data on which the account was created, the length of service, the IP address used to register the account, the subscriber's full name, screen name, any alternative names. So this is forensics right here. So let's go to work, y'all. This is the kickoff. This is the kickoff. Now, having said that, I'm gonna wrap up, and then I know Sour Patch is probably off by now, but I don't have any problem doing side notes over here. And no, you did not change the the topic, because I'm always gonna get back and circle back around and get back on point. Now, but having said that, pay attention. Pay attention to digital forensics. And again, I don't think that this can be stressed enough. As people, when I'm on here in an informative manner or way, it's because I want people to have knowledge. I want them to have some type of knowledge. And knowledge is just information. I want them to have some information, enough information to lay a foundation or to equip them with something that they can utilize in their life should they have to go to court. And even if you don't have to go to court, you can still utilize this in your life. Okay. Little runners off. Yeah. Show my little messages. I ended up to my message background. Let me turn that. Let the record show. Let's go to work. FBI warrant. One that was under seal. Let's digital forensics. Let's go work. Let's go to work. Network forensics, cell phone forensics, computer forensics. Let's go to work. Okay. So that 4-star retired general of the United States of America that led all them different wars. Scary. They got you. They got you. They got you. Colluding with other nations, tampering with our election process. And the thing that he did, and people said, well, what did he do? Well, it is being alleged that he gave another nation military secret. Treason. When you in your country for to be in the position, he was a 4-star general. That's a type in the military. Allegedly give military secrets, and also they or take money for information to taint the election process over here. So you go, he probably get hit with host watching the evidence. We're in. Okay. Now, having said that, when it comes to media and helpful tips or giving some points to Sour pertaining to her health, everybody's health. Just process the information and make sure that you don't allow people to play your time, because everybody's health should be vital to them. And so as people, let people have that much control and authority in your life, point where you feel like you have to read or respond, especially when it's adverse. To me. Okay, important to me. So I have to say on that, when I was doing those, that includes myself. I'm not excluded from acting. So I watch myself. And when it comes to our, watch the forensics. Watch the forensics. And so when they hit certain points where people computer, I don't understand everything, but you're gonna know some key words. Okay. So let's pay attention. Let's work. I'm waiting for this scene. Thank you, everybody. Evening and a pleasant. And I'm on okay and waiting for this. Ability matters. Now, having uh and thanks for streaming and up. Um, and take care, everybody. And engaged. Engaged. I thought I hit end on this broadcast.